Hey everyone, today's episode is all about the preparations we've been doing for the last month to get ready for our expedition by snowmobile to the Arctic that's coming up. Thanks everyone also for your nice comments on our last videos and your questions. So a lot of you have been asking about the tent and about the stove that Philippe built. In this video we're going to show you how he built that. There will not be a whole lot more about the tent, but I am installing some laundry lines and stuff like that. But when we go on the trip, we'll answer all your questions about the tent. So if you have more questions, shoot them down in the comments. Also, this episode is going to be very personal. There will be some homesteading, and you're really going to join us in the shop and in the kitchen here as we're getting the food and the toboggans and the snowmobiles and everything ready. So we've switched our cots and things like that. Other than that, yeah, there will be some homesteading. Justin switched to homeschooling in January, and that's been great. Yeah, there we go. Thanks again for your support and nice comments. And yeah, if you have any questions coming up throughout this episode, let us know and we will answer them from on the road because we're leaving in 2 days. Okay, I'm gonna go make some pizza for the trip now.
Little handle, collapsible for transport. And, feeding mouth, the air intake. And now I'm gonna make the hole. I need to weld everything, but I'm gonna make the hole for the chimney and the little control latch for the air.
Works. We've gotten a lot done so far. I think we've put all the accessories on our snowmobiles. I put the heated glove box extension on my machine. I am now installing the block heater plug. We want to be able to plug our snow machines in case they don't want to start with cold weather. Next, I've got ice scratchers to install, and I still have the skid plate to install, and that's it. Hello? We're working in the shop today. I'm installing my skid plate and ice scratchers, and Philippe is replacing the runners on his toboggan, which we will all do. Because of the hard packed snow and all the banging that's going to be happening, we're expecting some breakage on the runners, and we've heard so from other people, even the hitch attachments risk breaking. So we are preventatively replacing all the runners, and we'll take the old ones as spares, and we're going to set up a system to be ready to tow without the metal towing attachment, just in case, to be ready for it all. We've been busy recently just to strengthen or to reinforce all of our toboggans. We were expecting a few things to break considering the terrain we'll be encountering, if all goes well.
Now I'm putting a runner. That runner was missing from last year's trip, and actually the worn out runner from Leandra bogan is thin enough to match those cheap runners, so that's gonna work for that trip, I'm pretty sure. Of course, that's gonna be much longer. I'm just gonna need to cut here at the end. I'm reusing the hardware from the old one, and it's perfect. It's perfectly actually level with the other ones. So our next project is to add some little fit to the legs for the stove, the detachable legs for the wood stove. Little fit there so it doesn't sink in the snow as fast or go inside. Once all the snow under has melted, it doesn't sink to the ground. And so 3 feet, and I'm gonna be working on that bogan here. I need to make that stronger. So that little bogan is not bad at all. It's one of those Canadian Tire Pelican bogan. It's a light duty bogan. It's quite affordable, but I really don't like that attachment here. I think it looks weak, so I want to solidify and make that stronger. The rest is okay, and that's Justin Bogan. He's gonna have a little bit more weight this time in it, as we need to carry more gas. So I need to figure out something here. I'm thinking maybe some kind of a metal piece I would weld on each side and hold that in place. For now, it's just a very flimsy little plate in between there. There's different solution. I can also take that off and make a bigger, thicker plate in the middle. I'm gonna see what I have. So I think I got that figured out. I'm gonna use that piece of steel here, and I'm gonna use it as a clamp on top. Just need to cut on each side, and I'm gonna have a U shape something. I'm gonna be able to clamp and weld on top of the hitch thing there. That's the plan. Now I need to take the paint off. Here, there's a grinder, another grinder. All the paint is off, now I'm gonna get ready for welding. There. So I'm done with that. I'm happy. Nice little clamp here, gonna help prevent, I guess, from breaking too early. So now we're gonna weld some feet on the stove legs. Now the legs. I'll just take I'm gonna salvage a piece of metal and put something at the end there. I'm thinking on those kind of. That's actually a broken part from another bogan. Would be the perfect leg. Perfect fit. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. It doesn't have to be beautiful, it has to be functional. I changed my mind. I'm gonna see if I can cut a metal plate with that thing. And let's see. I realized better put a back. Otherwise I need to damage it. I need to put a 2x4, some wood or something on there, so I don't want to. Noisy. It's working, but it's slow. Now we're gonna give them a little grind work. Now I'm gonna weld the feet to the legs. Okay. Next. So I got 3 like that to do, and I'm done. The paint job on Justin trailer arm. Oh, I hate that can. Piece of crap. Here we go, find another nozzle. It's terrible, but I need to finish that can. Oh my gosh. Alright. It's garbage. Yeah. Garbage. Done. Okay, now here are the little legs, tiny little feet, but that's all what we need so it doesn't sink in sand or dirt. And of course the snow here, because of the heat, it sinks down anyway. So I'm gonna try that out, make sure it fits well on the stove. And I think I'm done with the stove. I like to find a little bag, so I don't like when we take those legs off during transport and put them inside the stove, it kind of rattles around. And then I need to find a solution, a little bag or something to keep them together. I think I have an idea. Okay, I'll get back to you. I'm pretty happy with the result. I see the little legs and the feet. And that's a stove. I'm not sure if you guys have a good... It's pretty wide mouth stove I made. I was afraid using a propane bottle that would be a little bit narrow here to fit the wood, but actually not at all. It's fairly large. I like it, and the air intake here with little handles. And there we go.
I am driving 200 kilometers today to go to our nearest city, pick up the food for our trip and some other supplies that we still need. We made a nice spreadsheet of all the meals that we want to eat during our trip, so that was a really easy way to calculate all the things we need. How many blocks of cheese, how many boxes of crackers, how many sausages, and all those things. So I'm going to see what they have in the stores today, because last week we looked a bit and they didn't have everything that we wanted. And we're going to keep on going. We have another 50 kilometers left, and then we'll get to the grocery store. Looks like the boys went out on the snowmobiles today. Yay! Home. Well, mission accomplished. I have a car full of groceries and things to bring inside for the trip. Let's go see the boys. I can put my glasses away. Hello! I made it! Oh, hello.
I'm working on adding some steel to the toboggan hitch to make sure that we're not gonna break during our long trip in the Arctic area. So I'm adding some steel like that, some angle iron, I think it's called angle iron. I'm gonna weld that. I'm also putting a bigger attachment bolts to the plastic bogan. More steel, and we see. We figured out that our toboggan had suffered quite a bit from our trip to Dawson City last year, and there's quite some fixing to do and reinforcing on both, actually the three bogans we have. So that's what I'm doing. So let's get on going. So welded the steel here, put extra support on the axle. I don't know how to call that really, but the axle bolt, put a way bigger one, more steel here. And it's not perfect. I mean, ideally we'd put steel all the way, but I feel that that long bar was actually a weak link. As a torsion when we take turns, tight turns, that thing keeps bending slightly, and it could be some metal fatigue years after years. So that's why I put a little bit of extra steel here. We see I had already before made that way beefier, and that way beefier with a bigger pivot. And here the pivot, there are the pivot points. It's way beefier too. So now I need to re-bolt everything together and try it out. Done.
Today I'm making some koobs, which is a Moroccan flatbread. I'm going to vacuum seal them and freeze them to take on our trip. This makes a good alternative to crackers and biscuits and bannock. Great for putting on the stove with a piece of cheese on top. Let's see here. So when they come out of the oven, they puff up nicely like that. It makes a pocket much like a pita bread, but it's thinner and it's kind of like comparable to naan and pita bread in between, but I just really like the texture of this one. So these are done. Once it's in the oven, it really only takes a few minutes for them to puff up and be done. You don't want them to overcook, because then they just get dry. Okay, put these in. Lippy's in the shop working on my toboggan. Like that, we're all getting something ready. Every day after work is expedition preparation time. It's really exciting. So today I made some more phone calls and found out some more about trail conditions. There's apparently lots of snow this year where we're planning on going. Nobody's been where we want to go yet, so it's likely that we're going to be breaking trail all the way, which is fine. We've inquired about gas prices because we're going to have to refuel at one point in a very remote community. Just wanted to make sure there's going to be gas there and that the price is not too far out of our budget. So we did that, we figured that all out, made some connections, found a place to shower when we arrived there. Yeah, it's really exciting that things are starting to get together. Just having a hard time deciding our departure date. We're starting to think the later the better because spring break's coming up and people will be more out and about. It would be nice to meet some locals out there. And the weather will be warmer too if we wait a bit longer. More daylight. So we'll see. I mean, probably in the next week or two we're gonna head out. I think you're really gonna like it. I remember last year when we were in Dawson City, I said, oh, wouldn't it be cool to continue north? And then we kind of like, oh, that's going to be complicated or whatever. And somehow the project kind of stayed in the back of our head the whole summer. And then when it came time to decide on where to go this spring, especially with Philippe going to the Arctic already here in January, I thought, well, now with our machines still young, the truck still is capable of driving because we have a long way to drive to our starting point. Now is a good year, better than any other. Okay, let's see if the next ones are ready. Beautiful. That's perfect. They flatten out as they cool down. Let's see, the next batch. It's always like playing Tetris, hey? It's funny how many times as adults we play Tetris. Loading the car, unloading the car, loading the toboggan, unloading the toboggan, putting all the pieces of bread on a piece of sheet. Okay, that's it for now. I'm just gonna keep on doing this.
What's that?
I'm making koobs.
Nice.
You're gonna have some. Just, it's for the trip. Little monkey. All right, just one then.
Very good, Mom.
Thanks, honey. Put it in here. The opening goes in there. Close. Click. There we go. And now you do vacuum seal. There we go.
What?
I'm gonna clean up a little bit before I start. So yesterday I finished welding and rebolting the trailer arm. I'm pretty happy with it. And then now I'm just gonna put a little coat of paint on it if I find some old rubber can. And then just going to install a piece of rope with a carabiner here so we can hook up always the toboggan to the snow machine with a rope and a biner, because sometimes that gets loose, that pin there, you lose your bogan. And so a bit like the chain on a trailer for trucks, the equivalent. So I'm just going to, it's pretty simple. I'm gonna put that on all three of the toboggan. So that one is done. I got still adjusting toboggan to improve. There is a very flimsy part on that light duty bogan that I like to reinforce, and that's about it. Oh yeah, and see, maybe, yeah, you lost a runner last year, and then maybe I need to replace that. I see. Anyway, that's the plan for tonight. All right then. So a rattle can. So let's see what I have for cans. Oh, here. Let's see. Red, probably not. Bed armor. Oh, those stuff. Kind of, I'm not sure. I see that. That's one option. That's another option. What color is that? Doesn't say. I don't know what that is. Acrylic lacquer. I don't know what color is that. There's stuff in it. Oh, black. Oh yeah, that's another option. There is a lot of options. I always keep old cans. Oh, look at that. No labels anymore. What do you want? No labels, no nothing. But hey, who knows? Check that out. Oh, maybe not. That one needs to be fixed. I don't want to start by fixing. I think a stove bright. Okay, I think I'm gonna see with those. I'm gonna try first. That one looks new and it's black. I got those two old cans here. I'm gonna see if I can use that. And I just see there is a moose in the yard there. Let's see if we can, if I can show it to you. Somewhere over there. Let's go see. There's quite some moose around here. It's crazy. The trail in the winter. That's another one. There's at least like 4 or 5 moose around the property. Not worried at all. It's a good side. Maybe it's a bull. Can't care less about us. Okay, because of the moose, I almost forgot I had forgot the can of paint on the stove, but it didn't explode yet. Good. Okay, so let's start. I do after I paint with those rattle cans, I clean the nozzle and gas, blow some air through so I can reuse it the next time fairly easily. Gas. And now I'm gonna blow some air through.
There's two. Just hopped into a cabin that we have here next to our house because from here we can see the moose really good, and it's actually a cow and a calf. Look. By the fire pit. You see me? Our house is like right there.
So I'm not gonna cut my old climbing ropes. They're not that old yet, and I don't want to. I'll find some very old straps. Oh, the moose is right there with another moose. Oh my gosh, look at that. With a baby, with a calf. It's another. Unbelievable. I mean, that's not the same moose as earlier. That's another one with a calf. Wow. I'm glad they feel safe around home. I mean, this is definitely not hunting season. It's a cow and calf are untouchable anyway. And I'm glad they feel like it's safe around here. I mean, life is pretty tough. Wow. Yeah, just right from the shop. There's a mother here and a calf on the other side here. Just like that in the shop, like 3 moose. This is cool. Okay, so for my project here, I think I said already, but I found some old climbing straps that I shouldn't use anymore because they've been there for so long. So I'm not gonna cut my ropes yet. I think they can do a couple more years at least, and then just gonna use those very old straps for connecting the boggin to the snow machine as spares. Yeah, I did.
I was in the cabin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're right there.
There's a mother and calf.
Yeah, and they walk like right in front of the
Yeah,
panels. It was
I
so
know.
cool.
Yeah, I was telling people.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. So we decided to sacrifice after all our oldest climbing rope. It's gonna be awesome for as a kinetic rope for getting unstuck and stuff like that. We have one already, but that's gonna be a second one. And then if one of the toboggan trailer arm breaks, then we can start to pull the boggans like the Inuit style with a rope. And it's gonna be a very good rope for that. So I'm gonna take half of that. So it's 25 meters. We check outside, it's way long enough. That's it. So we're gonna have 2 nice kinetic ropes now.
Une radio. Oh, that we're left with 7 oranges. And it's an equation.
Why you
It
put
has an equal sign in it. To ensure that the left side is equal to the right side, 9 minus what gives us 7. We consider that we start at 9 and we have to count down to 7. So starting at 9, 8,
Software
and
for the
7.
drawing.
So 2. We need our unknown to be 2 for them to be equal. And to check, 9 minus 2, yep, that's 7.
That out real quick, so I was about to say, also, the traffic here, this is bad, but look at that, that looks pretty good. At least this side, don't look at the other side, I couldn't get the windows through.
Putting together garlic mix for breakfast. Vacuum them in individual packages. Oh, like this, not looking. So that we can make some in the mornings. Justin?
Yeah.
How much is 6 times 20?
120.
120? Okay, so I guess we need to count 120 coffee packets. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 14, 16, 22, 24, 26, 30, 32,
How long does it have to cook about, Mom?
36, 38, 40, whatever it says in the instructions. 42, 44, 46, 48, 50, 52, 54, 56, 106, 110, 20, 10 more. 10 more. Okay, that should do us. Alright, well, it's coming along pretty good here. We have here, we've got 15 dinners of different sorts. I got 15, I think, breakfasts. And here we got 15 days of snacks. Well, actually more like 19. Yeah, because the chili still needs to come. And we're planning on 19 days. So we got tea, coffee, dinner, snacks. Here is kind of like the general pots, pans, towels, dish soap. We're getting there. All those details take a lot of work, but it's great fun. It's so exciting to see things come together.
Clean up the O303 we're gonna bring in our trip to the Arctic for our camp protection, and with Justin and I we're gonna go outside and degrease it to make sure it works properly in the extreme cold weather. So we're gonna put some alcohol on it and clean up all the grease out of it.
Well, the boys are getting the guns ready. I am getting ready to sew a pair of mitts for Justin. Philippe and I both have a pair already that I made, and I bought some beaver fur from local trappers that I'm going to turn in some mitts for Justin, because there's nothing like real fur gloves for keeping your hands warm without getting sweaty too much. So yeah, I've got his 2 liners done. We've got the beaver fur, we have some moose hide, and his idiot strings. I just spent some time last night braining those, and we'll put them all together so that he can have warm hands too. And these mitts will last him a lifetime, so I'm really happy to make them for him. I know in many places fur is frowned upon, but here in the Yukon and in the north in general, fur really is a great way to keep warm. It's natural, it breathes, it dries quickly. So here it's a lot more common to see fur and fur products, especially traditionally, of course, with the First Nations. They've been using lots of that too. I like fur. It's warm. I have Raynaud syndrome in my hands and my feet, so I'm always really careful and picky about gloves. I always have at least a couple pair with me. But those sealskin mitts I made, really, definitely very awesome with a pair of liner gloves underneath. That's great. I mean, I've had 3 pair of the heated FXR gloves in the last couple years. Spent a lot of money on those, but nothing like a pair of good fur mitts. I've been working for a while on this fur hat for mine. It's caribou. It's super warm, and I just finished putting these on there. And it's really bulky, like a helmet, but man, is it ever warm. I love it. Whew. First knit for Justin is done. Very nice. I'm very happy with that. These idiot strings are done.
That's comfy.
You like them?
Oh yeah, that's gonna keep me warm for sure.
Do we need to shorten the idiot strings? Probably.
Possibly.
Okay. Nice. You happy?
I'm very happy.
Good.
Thank you.
Install. Keep your orange.
Yeah.
Leandra.
Have you happened to see a foot for the sewing machine in
Yeah.
there?
So maybe on there.
Oh.
Yesterday.
And now it is what?
I didn't touch it.
Oh yeah, I see it.
I was being.
Yay!
I was most actually very busy.
Yeah. Thank you. That would be good. Daddy, do you have a project for Justin?
Yeah, you can help me in the shop.
Okay, so you can choose.
And then for you just need to bring your skidoo on the flat to check your oil. Remove your box and see how many jerrycans we can fit there. Okay?
Okay.
Please, thank you.
Oh, I can choose.
Then quite important.
Yeah.
So what are you making now?
I'm making like a wash gloves.
Wash gloves?
Yeah, it's like a washcloth that fits over your hand. So we don't have to take baby wipes, but we can just wash ourselves with these on the trip. And this is just a loop so we can hang them to dry when it's done. Actually, I find like for trips like this, you spend a lot more time getting ready than you actually spend out on the trip. And we find that for us, it's a great, joyful part of any trip we do is like half the trip is the preparation for it. And so, yeah, I'm really excited to see things coming together. I think we're about, we haven't decided on like an exact departure date yet, but I think we're getting there, and it will be in about a week and a half. So yeah, all our tires are fixed. We've got more than enough spare tires to deal with spare tires on the road because our starting point requires some driving to get to. Yeah, I'm super excited. This is a bucket list trip for me. Last year when we got to Dawson City, I said, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we did this? And then we were kind of like, no, maybe that's too much, maybe it's too far. And then we've been thinking about it all year. And then when it was time to come up with a trip for this spring, I was like, yeah, let's just do it. And we've gotten some more intel this week, made some phone calls, talked to some people, who did. Talked to some people in the area, and there's a lot of snow there this year. But I definitely think we can do it. And of course, like with every trip, because it's somewhere you don't know and you've never been there before, it always comes with a few worries here and there. But it would be silly if you think it was easy and just go. Of course, we have to consider everything carefully. And we are, and I'm just super excited about it too, and can't wait. Just inside, going over our medical supplies. And slowly, surely, I went to check all our gear this morning. I'm just going in and out. That's why I'm wearing my coat inside the house, in case you're wondering. And yeah, it's super exciting. We also kind of like traced our route on the map, just in case our electronics die from the cold.
That's one.
Yeah.
What's that called? Barely knife or something.
See what we have in our first aid kit and what we can take out and remove. So it's always kind of tricky to think what to do. Do we have one big first aid kit that stays with one person? We always like to go with the attitude, well, what if we lose one snowmobile? Then we would lose like everything that would be on that snowmobile, and in case there's only one first aid kit, then that would be everything. So I think we're going to go with having 2 different first aid kits, and then everybody has kind of their individual small package with a few pills and band-aids, whatever. So I have this one put together that's mostly for big wounds with splint and you know, those butterfly tapes in case we need to do stitching and bandaging and things like that. And then we have this one here that I'm just gonna open up. That one has mostly more pills, things like that, some more gauze. I need to look through it. And then I think we'll each have something with easier access. The pills that we normally would use, I don't know, maybe some diarrhea medication, some Tylenol, and a couple of band-aids, some tweezers, and that should be good. A system to dry our gear at night. So I've just attached a little Prusik style rope to some of the poles, and then use these dog clips to attach the laundry line. I'm kind of trying to distribute the weight evenly around this whole wall where our cots will be set up, in a way that our jackets are not really above our face and that the tent can still handle it. I just hung up a bunch of jackets to try here. I think maybe I'll sew some loops in our liners, because the other day when we were camping, we've put our liners in here, but unfortunately this net is not very tight on the bottom, and everything we put in there kind of fell out. That was a bit too bad. But yeah, I think this looking pretty good. Which one? This one? Yeah.
I need to find another bus that's got the bus covers on it, but I'm pretty confident here. Like
I have like 4 layers right here, and then about
Maybe one is mom.
let's see here, 3. I have 3 layers on my.
Do you think that's gonna keep you warm?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, on the really cold days.
Yes, it's really hot right now.
Yeah, I believe that. Awesome. We're preparing all our clothes, choosing the layers we want to wear on the really cold days and the ones for less cold days, preparing for everything a bit, while at the same time being light. No. You feel like a moon man? Goes on his face.
I'm really hot.
Okay, well you can start taking things off then. With the pile, I think this is going to be good for me. Oh yeah, hi. I'm coming to your community next week, and I'm just wondering about the opening hours of the store and the gas station. Oh, the road is closed? Oh, okay, well I'll go have a look at that. Wow, that's crazy, the road is closed.
Yeah, it's a typical event on the Dempsey Highway.
Yeah.
Nothing to worry about now. I mean, we still have a week, so
Yeah, hopefully by then.
it's a matter of
Okay.
48 hours
Yeah.
before it opens.
Yeah.
Typical.
Typical. Oh yeah, well we'll see. Hopefully it clears up by next week. That would be nice. Well, today is, I think, the last day preparing food for the trip. I'm making some pizzas for on the road. Some more quiche. I made some little mini quiche for breakfast already, but today is more about preparing food for the road trip part. We are leaving in 2 days, and Dempster Highway has been closed for a week, but I just called Eagle Plains and he said it's hopeful that it's going to be open again tomorrow, so we should be good to go and we don't have to worry about that part. Yeah, wanna help me make some pizza dough and some quiche? All right. What do you have to do next, Justin? Did you do some math already?
No.
Well, here we are. It's 10:30 Friday night. We're leaving in 2 days, and I'm sitting here on the couch editing the video you just watched by the fire. Philippe has been busy all day today loading the truck and doing last preparations. We have lots of spare tires for the trailer. We've got spare parts of things that can break down. The first part of our trip is going to be the Dempster Highway. That's still closed on the map, but I did call Eagle Plains this morning and they said it is open. It was open yesterday, even though it showed closed on the map. So we're gonna go anyway, hoping that it is gonna open. And if not, if it means we have to wait an extra day, well, then that's part of the adventure. We will keep you posted as much as we can. Of course, if you haven't already done so, subscribe so you'll know all about this trip that we've got going on here when we come back, and the post will make on the way. We will see if I have time tomorrow. We will have a video for you that's all about the trip that Philippe did, crossing BC with pack horses back in '98, and then snowmobiling by dog sled to Dawson City, and then by canoe to the Bering Sea. It's a completely different kind of adventure of the snowmobile trips that you've been seeing from us, but it is part of our story, and we dug up the VHS tape from it, and it's a beautiful adventure. So hopefully we'll have time tomorrow to put that on YouTube for you. So if we do, that will probably go live next week. Anyway, see you on the other side. And yeah, again, if you have any comments, questions about our trip, of course, the preparation, we did lots more than what we showed in the video, but we just didn't have time, I guess, to film every single detail, but it gives a good overview of the busy evenings we've had in the past month. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.